If you were to make a top 5 list of game developers that have created fantastic games throughout the years, Capcom will more than likely be on that list. From the classic platforming action of Mega Man to the horror-fueled nightmares of Resident Evil, the fist-flying combat of Street Fighter, and numerous other fighting series, plus many more. Capcom has crafted many timeless classics across numerous gaming genres. But there's one genre they've actually never really bothered with that much. Well, two. Don't get ahead of me. We'll get to that one in due time. Now, I'm talking about racing games. In total, Capcom has only made 6 racing games in their entire history as a game developer. Yeah, they did publish a few of the MotoGP games, but I mean actual development. The first is Pocket Rockets for the Amiga, Commodore 64, and DOS in 1988, followed by the arcade title F1 Dream that same year. 1989 saw the release of LED Storm, aka Mad Gear, in Japan for the arcade. Then the Mario Kart-inspired Mega Man Battle & Chase for PlayStation in 1997. And then we come to the games of today's episode. The first was a bold new looking take on the type of racing that was going strong thanks to Gran Turismo and later with Xbox's own Forza Motorsport. The second, a spiritual sequel that came out before its predecessor on Xbox. Yeah, fun little tidbit of knowledge. The PS2 version of Modellista came out in March 2003. 8 months later, we got Group S Challenge on the Xbox. Then 2 months after that, we got the Xbox port of Modellista. Capcom, am I right? But enough about confusing release dates. Let's see how well Capcom's foray into the racing genre went. As stated earlier, Modellista racing style is that of a more simulated nature, like Gran Turismo, as opposed to a more arcade-like playstyle, with the ability to tweak and tune the performance of your car, from the brakes, acceleration, turning, engines, and so on, as well as the car's appearance with numerous color combos, hoods and spoilers, custom license plates, and adding stickers. There are 2 main modes to the game, Arcade and Garage Life. Arcade is essentially quick race, with 3 options: single race, 2-player versus, and time attack. Once you choose your car, stage, and settings, you go and race. Pretty straightforward. There is even online racing via Xbox Live, but as we all know, that's pretty much defunct now. Garage mode is more or less the story mode of Modellista. You name your garage and choose what type you want, choose your car company, comprising of the biggest names in racing car manufacturing like Toyota and Honda, pick your car, give it a plate, then you're in your garage where you can tune up your rides, check emails, customize your garage's look, change cars, and most importantly, start races. Races are arranged by levels, each having a set of competitions you must win in order to advance to the next set, such as point-to-point racing, up and downhill races, and your standard lap races, winning parts and cars as you go. Plus, if you pull off a great victory you're proud of, you can watch and edit your replays in the VJ and theater modes. All of this sounds like a great racing experience. Sadly though, this isn't the case. The biggest flaw of Modellista is the controls. No matter how much you tune your car, driving always feels like you're cruising on ice, with slippery turns and controls that just go all over the place. The fact that the Xbox version is supposed to have fixed controls over the Japanese PS2 original makes this an even sadder feeling. On top of that, the AI is incredibly unbalanced, with the beginning races being a breeze to complete, while later on, it varies from extremely easy to damn near impossible. It's a damn shame, as Capcom could have had a really fun game on their hands if they could have just nipped these 2 problems in the bud. One thing they did do really well was the visuals, using cel-shaded graphics normally used for other types of games like platformers. The cars pop to life like a motion comic, which works great, despite the tracks not looking as great as the cars racing on them. For audio, the music is a mixture of jazz and rock tunes that give off a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 vibe that's very refreshing in a racing game, while the game's announcer is, well, he just is.
Let's play the game! Rocco Downhill Challenge Cup. Check it out.
Modellista is a sad tale. On one hand, a cel-shaded racer sounds amazing, and for the most part it is. But when you throw in a giant monkey wrench like terrible controls, it ends up being a crash and burn that's tough to recommend for fans of racing games like Gran Turismo. However, if you can wrestle with those bad controls, it's decently affordable to pick up. So, with Modellista not being the hit Capcom was going for, their next effort, Group S Challenge, takes a more simplistic approach. Just like Modellista, you have a nice selection of cars from the top car manufacturers to choose from, and 2 modes to select. Arcade mode has single player, 2-player versus, time attack, and 1 make, a mode that lets you choose a car for you and all the AI drivers and measures who has the best driving ability. What's interesting is that while Modellista had online racing, it's nowhere to be found in Group S Challenge, meaning 2-player mode is all you get. In Circuit mode, which is the career mode for this game, there are no cutscenes or story. Instead, you just get 3 racing types: Championship, Line, and Duel. In Championship mode, you buy your first car and race throughout different tiers, with Group C being the lowest and S being the best, to unlock enough cash to buy upgrades and new cars. With Line mode, you basically drive in the racing line on the track to earn money, while Duel mode gives the player a chance to unlock special cars by winning a race against said car by using 3 cars you already have. Now, while the controls have improved from Modellista's slip and slide driving, there's still some stiff control issues here and there. Still, this is way more playable. Meanwhile, the AI is still kinda derpy, but 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right? Visually, Group S Challenge doesn't go the route of cel shading like its predecessor, instead going for a more realistic design, and the results are pretty good, with very detailed models of famous cars. The tracks you race on also look pretty good. Granted, there are only 3 tracks: Monaco, Australia, and Japan, with 6 variations: Part A, B, the full track, and a reverse version for each. Audio-wise, the music is mostly electronic beats that, while aren't amazing, are still decent to listen to while racing. Group S Challenge doesn't try to be different, making it a more bland, generic racing game, but compared to Modellista, with its smoother controls and more balanced gameplay, it's easily the better of the 2. Plus, it's a little bit cheaper to pick up than Modellista. Overall, I'd tell you to just go play better racing games. But if you were going to choose one from Capcom, Group S Challenge is just the better choice in my opinion, which does bum me out as I enjoy the look and sound of Modellista, but hate the fact that the controls are made of children's tears and toothpicks. So with the critical and sales failures of both of these games, it's no surprise that Capcom said farewell to the racing genre and instead has stuck with just porting all their older games to newer consoles and occasionally making new games for said franchises. But after playing these 2, maybe it's for the best. Well, in any case, this is the Dolly Popka saying, as always, stay green everybody. I'll see you next time. I still can't believe Capcom made a fishing game. Like, where was this? What? Fishing game. You'd think a cel-shaded game would sound amazing, and for the most part it does. But when you throw in a giant runky... Runky? A runky mensch. That's one for the books. Modellista is a sad tale. On one hand, a cel-shaded